KBLA Talk 1580 celebrates small businesses, the enduring lifeblood of our community, with the launch of the KBLA SMB Marketplace. For the first time, small to medium-sized businesses will have an opportunity to promote their goods and services on KBLA and take advantage of our powerful reach and local marketing power. The SMB Marketplace is hosted exclusively on KBLA1580.com and is accessible from all our social media channels. Whether you're a small mom and pop restaurant, a car dealership, or a professional practitioner, we invite you to join in this new KBLA Talk 1580 initiative to promote your business. As a Black-owned small business, you don't want to miss this unique opportunity to gain new customers on KBLA Talk 1580. For more information, contact us today at smb@kbla1580.com. That's smb@kbla1580.com. At KBLA Talk 1580, we've got your black.
And if I share with you my story, would you share your shadow with me? Time to get
Hey Zoe, I'm calling your show, 'cause I need to know. Show me which way to go before I throw my man out the door.
Okay, hold on a second, Keisha. Just let me ask Ronald exactly what's going on, because it takes two to tango, and I need to hear his side of the story.
So she's driving me insane, got stress heavy on my brain. She keeps playing silly games, man, I'm about to bring the pain. We seem to fuss and fight every day and every night. Please give some advice so we can see the light, see the light.
So wherever your surti goes, that's where your energy goes. And so if you're attending to things that are difficult or disturbing, then your energy is going to take on that quality.
Anji.
And that stays within you. That's your energy field. So it's really
There's that
powerful.
study, I think by some Japanese scientist, and he said that whatever energy goes into water, the water takes on that form.
It's incredible. They've done the experiment with water crystals and rice. And what they do with water crystals, they put labels on top of the water, like hate, sadness, loneliness. And then they'll do some positive labels. And they look at the formation of the crystals. And it's completely different. It's like the beautiful crystals form with the like nice positive language, and really kind of horrible looking disfigured crystals form. I never used to believe any of this stuff. I thought it was all woo woo. I was just like, there's nothing in this. But now I'm like, it's all energy. It's all about energy.
Did you start off quite on the science side more?
I was very cynical. I was always brought up to question and challenge. And so if somebody put something like sakya, people would like tell me, I'm like, yeah, whatever. That's like, when I was younger. And my dad was always really like, I appreciate what he gave me the quality to kind of be introspective and to challenge and to reflect.
Hanji.
But he was always like, no, that's not true, or this isn't true, or
Yeah.
you need to question. And
Hanji.
it helped me. But at the same time, I was very cynical and very much like, you know, all of this stuff is airy fairy, like
Hanji.
Anha the Shabad and all this stuff that we don't understand.
Hanji.
That I, you know, obviously I haven't experienced. So I'll be like, no, it doesn't exist. But now,
Yeah.
you know, my scientific mind is actually like learning from science that this stuff is true.
Wow.
So it's convincing me.
That's really cool,
You know?
man. And I think in today's world, a lot of people push this on us as well, that you should try and go from that angle. Like,
Yeah.
see the overlap between the two, between spirituality and the science.
Yeah.
And then it would just bring so many more people in as well. Because the way
Definitely.
we think today, especially in the West, is that we are there to challenge everything, right?
Yeah.
Even education system, like we challenge even our teachers,
Yeah.
right? But if you look at the Eastern system, we talked about this before, you would never challenge your ustad.
Yeah.
Right? You just say Satbachan. If you
Yeah.
didn't agree with it, you probably just have to let it go, or you
Yeah.
could do Beinti.
Yeah.
But in the West, it's the complete opposite. So
Completely.
it's now we have to take the skills that we've learned and try and apply it to the West, and try and bridge that gap between the two.
I think it's healthy to challenge as well.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like our gurus taught us to challenge. And,
Definitely,
you know,
yeah.
Bhagat Kabirji and their Barney, and like, they're just like, you get a sense of personality, character,
Hanji.
and how it's like, you know, you don't just take for granted what you see and live in the way that people are living around you, but you find that kind of internal path. You seek the truth, and that's often different. That was with Guru Nanak Dev Ji's time. Living the truth was very different to what was being lived at that time.
Definitely.
And so I think there's value in challenging. But yeah, exactly.
Ladies and gentlemen, the voice of reason has been contemplating on doing this topic for some time now. And you know, it's a tough topic, as they all are, right? It's a tough topic. And if you've been paying attention for the 2 years that I've been here, a little over 2 years, you know, I'm hitting these topics from every single angle. We are talking about mother wounds, father wounds, self-love deficient, codependence, narcissists, covert narcissists, coquettes. We've been not salmon croquettes, but coquette, right? We've been talking about everything. Marriage, fidelity, infidelity, financial infidelity. We've talked about everything. We've even had the brother on that was talking about herbs and detoxing, and we've talked about attachment theory. We've talked about so many angles of relationships, and I know it can get a bit heavy sometimes, right? But this is a man, a flawed man, who is talking to you from a different level of consciousness. And what's interesting about this level of consciousness is, and please take no offense to this, you know, but when it comes to relationships, I see most of us as prisoners. And I know that's heavy. Prisoners. Prisoners to pain. Prisoners to yesterday. Prisoners to unhealed wounds. Straight doing life. Prisoners. You know, and as I was cultivating this topic, and I literally started cultivating this topic last night as I left, but it has been on my mind for months now. And the reason why I say prisoners, it is very difficult to overcome betrayal, to overcome childhood pains, whatever happened in childhood. It is exceedingly difficult. And you have heard me speak on this ad nauseum. with regards to relationship being a mirror. Your partner is the question to an answer you carry, right? Attachment style says the same thing. You know, in early childhood, something happens. From that event, you start to formulate an attachment style. And for most of us, we are imprisoned to that style. We are imprisoned to the demands of the associated wounds that come with a particular style. And so, in formulating tonight's topic, because if you really dive in both on the clinical side, the philosophical side, and then add the spiritual piece to it, you're going to see exactly what I'm saying. Like, we should be appalled that that many people in the world believe that love is not enough. That, you know, even the question from Robin Ayers yesterday, you know, when we were asked, right, does the good guy win or does the bad guy win? You know, again, we're living in a society that has cultivated a survival mentality for all aspects of life, whether it's business, whether it's sports, whether it's family, whether it's survival, it's competition, it's I've got to make sure I'm good in every situation. Now, relationships on the spiritual side is supposed to be a school where one discovers parts of themselves that are even unknown to the person. That's what it's for. Now, we've made it to be something totally different. I was talking to a sister today. She has been with a brother for a little while. She was at the cigar lounge. She was, been with a brother for a little while. Next thing you know, they break up, and I've been called in to talk to them several times to kind of walk them through their process, and already on to the next one. I mean, literally 2-3 weeks after, already on to the next one. And the thought process is, I deserve to be happy. Now, I'm not here to judge or condemn and say, no, you don't deserve to be happy. However, when you entangle your mind, body, and spirit with someone, depending on how long you've been with them, it does take a minute, right? To decompress, to process, right? And she was just like, it feels better. And that was the motivation. It feels better. It just feels better than what it was. And I'm like, wow. But no judgment, though. I'm really literally not judging her, but I'm like, wow. You don't see you, right, in the failing of the relationship that just ended 3 weeks ago. Like, you don't see you. Because if you saw you, you would protect others from you. Ugh, goodness. All right. Let me give you your topic. And I want you guys to go on this journey with me. This is why I set it up in the way that I did today. Because this topic, like I said, it's a long time coming. The Darshan of true love, exploring the potential for divine unconditional love in human relationships, a profound inquiry into cultivating the sacred unconditional love within human bonds. And you say, oh, well, what is Darshan? Right? Well, Darshan is a Sanskrit term. And you guys know I love to pull from, all types of cultures, belief systems, y'all know I love to do that. Whether it's science, you guys know. But the Sanskrit term darshan actually means sighting, a viewing, right? Like to view something, to see, right? And even deeper, in Hinduism, darshan is a term that has multiple terms, as many of their words do. A darshan, listen to this, and this is why it made sense to me today when the girl was like, 3 weeks later, boom, I'm on to the next, and and it feels better, but this is why it made sense. A darshan is a glimpse or view of a deity or holy person, such as a saint, God-realized master, or God-realized master. It can also refer to viewing the inner sanctum of a Hindu temple, which houses the image of God. Darshan is a reciprocal experience where the devotee sees and is seen by the deity. Usually in the form of a sacred image, it can involve bowing as one approaches the deity and can feel like a sense of healing, love, or acceptance. Now, let's just get deep, because I'm tired of the superficial crap around relationships. You can go stretch and practice yoga and not know any of the terms of what anything actually means. Yoga means union, right? So I hear people running around at the end of yoga saying, namaste. Namaste is another term, Sanskrit, that actually means the divine in me, right? Acknowledges the divine in you. And it literally means the divine in me is bowing to the divine in you. Now, for all you folk out there of different denominations, whether it be Christianity or Islam, every one of these religions has a version of this particular term, right? Every one of them. And when we come forward, if you need me to crack your code, I will do so. But it's important for us to understand something as I cultivate this topic as we move forward. Right? You're going to learn. This might be too heavy of it. When you hurt somebody, you hurt the God in you. Yes. And the God in them. Many people assume God wasn't hurt after giving up his son in John chapter 3 verse 16. Many people feel like God didn't have any empathy or didn't care or what? The scripture says he loved the world, and if he loved the world, he must have felt for the sacrifice which was his son. Listen, when we come forward, the voice of reason, we're going to get so deep into this because I think it's necessary. Because oftentimes we are really off track when it comes to relationship, and I'm hoping to clear some of that up today.
Reasons. The reasons that we're here, the reasons that we fear, our feelings won't disappear. You're listening to the voice of reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580. Tavis is like George and Wheezy. He's moving on up. Last year, Tavis was number 45 on the Talkers magazine list of the 100 most important radio talk show hosts in America. Wait for it. Wait for it. The 2024 list was recently released, and Tavis has jumped to number 33 on the list of the nation's most important talkers, making him the highest ranked African American on the coveted roster. Congratulations to Tavis Smiley from all of us at KBLA Talk 1580. We've got your black.
Watch out! You got me!
The galaxy is safe once again.
In the pretend universe, kids play with pretend guns. In the real world, it's up to us to make sure they don't get their hands on a real gun. If you have a gun in the house, keep it locked, unloaded, and stored separately from ammunition. Safe gun storage saves lives. Learn how to make your home safer at endfamilyfire.org. That's endfamilyfire.org. Brought to you by End Family Fire, Brady, and the Ad Council.
KBLA Talk 1580 invites you to join us for a book party celebrating The Covenant with Black America 20 years later. Almost 2 decades ago, the Covenant book, compiled and edited by Tavis Smiley, climbed to #1 on the New York Times bestsellers list and stayed there for weeks. The first book by a black-owned publisher to achieve such a feat. The urgency of the issues that matter most to black fellow citizens has only intensified, especially in this critical election year. On Wednesday evening, August 14th, 6 to 9 p.m., come meet Tavis Smiley alongside Covenant contributors including Cornel West, Connie Rice, Mark Ridley Thomas, Elisa Orduna, Tyrone Howard, and Melina Abdullah as they sign copies of The Covenant with Black America 20 years later. You can purchase your books on site and get them autographed. That's Wednesday evening, August 14th, 6 to 9 p.m. in the city of Los Angeles. Admission is free, but you must register at KBLA1580.com. At KBLA Talk 1580, we've got your black.
Substance use disorder and addiction is so isolating. And so, as a black woman in recovery, hope must be loud. It grows louder when you ask for help and you're vulnerable. It is the thread that lets you know that no matter what happens, you will be okay.
When we learn the power of hope, recovery is possible. Find out how at startwithhope.com. Brought to you by the National Council for Mental Wellbeing, Shatterproof, and the Ad Council.
You know you want some more. It's the voice of reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
Always there when you call, always on time. Gave you my baby, be mine. Always there when you call, always on time. Gave you my baby. I'm not always there when you call, but I'm always on time. And I gave you my all. Now baby, be mine. I'm not always there when you call, but I'm always on time. And I gave you my all. Now baby,
Come on and get a piece of this late night lover. You know, the one that swing like no other. I know I got a lot of things I need to explain, but baby, you know the name, and love is about pain. So stop the complaints and drop the order of restraints. Our sex life's a game, so back me down in the pain. I can't wait no more. Cause it's about 3:15, and sure days I me. I got the Bentley Ballet, and I'm just outside of Jersey, past the Palisades. And I love to see that in boots and shades. Throw out on the bed while I'm yanking your braids. Thugs down.
I think what I've learned is that your only responsibility on this earth is to love as totally as you can, because that's what gives you juice, that's what makes your body healthy, that's what makes creation happen. Why are you here? To love as totally as possible. The more you do, the more fulfilled you are, the happier you are. Your immune system goes up, the whole thing, Now, when you're not doing that, it's like, it's not healthy for you, man. How does this feel? Because this is important for you. If you were to say to her, I love you without conditions. Great. And then she doesn't have to feel like there's some expectations there. And how about if you follow that for yourself? Because it'll make you happy. It'll also make her happy, man. And if she chooses to go with someone else, you love her that she's happy to be with someone else. Whoa, can you swallow that one, man?
Listen, we gonna get to it. Think of it. The reason why this the topic is called, right? The Darshan of True Love. Can you see your partner as an extension of God? Can you see yourself as an extension of God? Can they see you as an extension of God? Thus, every time you see each other, you are performing darshan. Why is darshan, right, sequestered intellectually, ideologically, for the holy person or the saint, right? When you see another human being, you are seeing the infinites of God. God is everywhere. God cannot be contained, defined, sequestered. God is not a spirit in heaven. God is beyond comprehension. Whether you call God Allahu subhanahu wa ta'ala for my Muslim folk, whether you call God Elyon, Elyon El for the Hebrew folk, whether you call God Christ, God is omnipresent, omniscient, all-knowing, everywhere, contained in everything. Nothing is without God. And I'm saying this is a way to approach relating. And oftentimes we lose sight of God within ourselves because we feel less than. Maybe that's an attachment style. Do you see how the world has molded our minds in such a way that everything is about surviving events that don't feel good? So now we're just running towards what feels good. And when you're running towards what feels good, it's really clear that you have lost sight of the totality of God and how God lives in you. And if God is in you, and you hear people say it all the time, oh, I got a personal relationship with God. Then the God that exists in you, which is the same that exists in everything, should be visible through your eyes when looking at another. Unconditional love is exceedingly difficult to cultivate because we are looking through the lens of unhealed wounds. We are looking through the lens of survival, of I don't want to feel that no more. Do you see? And the feeling always comes from the outside to the person that's been hurt. When I come forward, I promise you we're going to get even deeper. Yo, we got a lot to talk about.
He's on fire tonight. It's the Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams exclusively on KBLA Talk 1580.
I'm Amber Payton. Here's the latest on the Black Information Network. New York Governor Kathy Hochul is announcing an expansion of maternal and pediatric health care at Elmhurst Hospital in Queens. Hochul says more than $27 million in state funding will go toward doubling the size of the Women's Pavilion and building a new pediatric intensive care unit. She says the investment will combat the maternal mortality crisis, which disproportionately impacts women of color by increasing access to prenatal care and services like mental health counseling. St. Paul Mayor Melvin Carter presented his $855 million budget proposal, which includes a 7.9% property tax levy increase. Carter, who was black, addressed the city's housing crisis and proposed amending the rent stabilization ordinance to exclude properties built after 2004. He also plans to increase funding for the fire department with a focus on the east side and renovate the Xcel Energy Center. That's the latest. I'm Amber Payton on your home for 24/7 News, the Black Information Network.
Progressive Commercial Insurance flexes to fit your business's needs. From quick repairs to adjustable coverages and even payment options, Progressive Commercial makes it easy to get what you need. Quote today in as little as 6 minutes at progressivecommercial.com.
I need your dollar, that's what I need.
KBLA Talk 1580 celebrates small businesses, the enduring lifeblood of our community, with the launch of the KBLA SMB Marketplace. For the first time, small to medium-sized businesses will have an opportunity to promote their goods and services on KBLA and take advantage of our powerful reach and local marketing power. The SMB Marketplace is hosted exclusively on KBLA1580.com and is accessible from all our social media channels. Whether you're a small mom and pop restaurant, a car dealership, or a professional practitioner, we invite you to join in this new KBLA Talk 1580 initiative to promote your business. As a Black-owned small business, you don't want to miss this unique opportunity to gain new customers on KBLA Talk 1580. For more information, contact us today at smb@kbla1580.com. That's smb@kbla1580.com. At KBLA Talk 1580, we've got your black.
And if I share with you my story, would you share your shadow with me? Time to get paid.
Oh, man. Looks like Bobby needs a ride to the airport again.
Grab the keys.
Who's taking Auntie and her friends to the swap meet?
Grab the keys.
How about we drop these boxes off at Miss Johnson?
Grab the keys.
Whether you're giving rides or hauling gear, you're all about getting things done. So do it all in a Chevy SUV. From the versatile Equinox and sporty Blazer to the roomy Traverse, our lineup of SUVs will carry you through every adventure. All you have to do is...
grab the keys?
That's how we do. Head to your local Chevy dealer, where well-qualified buyers get 1.9% financing on all 2024 Malibu, Colorado, Blazer, Equinox, Trailblazer, and Traverse Limited models. Chevrolet. Together, let's drive.
1.9% APR for 36 months. Monthly payment is $28.60 for every $1,000 you finance. Example down payment 15.8%. Must finance with GM Financial. Some customers may not qualify. Not available with lease and some other offers. Take new retail delivery by 7/1/24.
If you love to travel, Capital One has a rewards credit card that's perfect for you. With Venture X, earn unlimited double miles on everything you buy and turn everyday purchases into extraordinary trips. Plus, receive premium travel benefits like access to over 1,300 airport lounges where you just check in and chill out. Open up a world of possibilities with Capital One. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. Lounge access is subject to change. See CapitalOne.com for details.
My friends swim no matter the season, but my moderate to severe plaque psoriasis can sometimes take me out of the moment. Now, thanks to Skyrizi and clear skin, count me in. With Skyrizi, Risankizumab Riza, a prescription-only 150 milligram injection for adults who are candidates for systemic or phototherapy. 3 out of 4 people achieve 90% clear skin at 4 months.
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions and an increased risk of infections or a lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check for infection and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection or symptoms such as fever, sweats, chills, muscle aches, or cough, or if you plan to or recently received a vaccine.
Thanks to Skyrizi, there's nothing on my skin, and that means everything. Ask your doctor today about Skyrizi, the #1 dermatologist-prescribed biologic in psoriasis, and visit skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKYRIZI to learn more.
Helping to broaden your political and moral imagination with our 2024 Climate Justice Campaign. We're KBLA Talk 1580.
The California Crusader newspaper would like to thank all of our subscribers for their support throughout the years, proudly serving the South Los Angeles and South Bay areas for more than 40 years. The California Crusader is a multicultural, Black-owned, adjudicated newspaper that focuses on providing newsworthy information to the people in our community. We're constantly looking for ways to assist businesses in our community to connect with our subscribers. We provide low-cost, effective ways to promote your business with our reasonable and affordable advertising rates. You can participate by suggesting, sharing, and submitting your stories on the California Crusader newspaper Community Share Facebook group page, or visit our website at cal-cruise-news.com. That's calcruisenews.com. Then click on the Submit Now button located on the top right corner of the homepage, or text CCN to 42828. Again, text CCN to 42828. The California Crusader newspaper, working together to build a better community for our future. Subscribe today.
You're listening to the Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams. Only on KBLA Talk 1580.
We all my. Yeah. Come on. come on. So all my ladies that be living it up. To everybody that be living it up, we say. So all my ladies that be living it up. Come on, baby, this is typical, everyday, one night thing. It's a physical, I'ma love you tonight, gang. Look, calling your name, go jump on in the range and roll over. I just really wanted to hold you. In time, get to know you. That's a good chick. Before it's all over, I'ma meet this chick. Probably treat this chick more better. Cause if you ain't no thugs and ladies go together. Popping my collar partner, who in the spot? Baby, rule in the spot, in the mug, in the watch. Ugly. Half of y'all hate me, half y'all love me. The ones that hate me only hate me cause they don't trust me. And they say I'm lucky. You think I got time to blow all this dough and do all these shows? On flight in the llama charging white robes. Uh-oh, another episode. To everybody that be living it up, we say what I did. And all my ladies that be giving it up.
The stillness, the presence, whatever we want to call it. And by sensing it in yourself and being it, then you recognize it in another. And that recognition that in the space of stillness is true love, which doesn't need the other, because the other only reflects to you who you are. So the question you're basically asking, would you then love everybody equally, so there would not be one person singled out as special, as the Course in Miracles calls it special relationship, which the Course in Miracles says, of course, it's of the ego, to single one out as special. Now, if you single one out as special and what you see in the other is the form only, and you're attached to the form, which doesn't just mean the physical form. Of course, that's an important part of it, because that is part of the sexuality and all that, which is part of the attraction. But it also includes the psychological form of the other, who you think that person is, their psychological makeup, how they behave and speak and act. That is also form, that's the psychological form. And there can be strong attachment to those aspects. Both the physical come together with the psychological, which includes also emotions. There's an emotional link also there. And those when they all come together, you fall in love. And aptly, it's called fall because it's a fall in consciousness. But that's okay. If that's what you experience, then that life wants you to experience that. It's part of your learning, that fall in consciousness. Now, it's not immediately, of course, experienced as a fall. It's experienced as a high. And only afterwards do you realize, oh, that was a fall. And afterwards can be after a year.
Man, Eckhart Tolle dropping bombs. Listen, I see you guys in the chat, and you have your low mind trying to define and decipher high consciousness. Go get a book on conscious relating. It reads totally different than the social programming you're used to having. You cannot understand the heights of consciousness with the mind you were raised with. You have to have a new mind to have a new perspective on what's being shared. God is synonymous with love. Love is not attachment. The Buddha said attachment is the source of suffering. Many of us are attached, and it is mislabeled as love. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about high consciousness that raises our understanding beyond the me. As Krishnamurti called the me, the ego, the center, my identity. This is not what we're talking about. Is it possible to see God in yourself and within your significant other? Can this sighting, i.e. darshan, as the Hindu would call it, can this sighting within self and another infinitely deepen, right, the bond between two people. What does namaste mean? How can we live namaste in all our relations in life? What gets in the way of carrying that feeling of peace, connection, and oneness out into our everyday relationships? Our human predicament right now, it is that we are dominated by ego consciousness, a sense of being a separate self, which is responsible for defending and controlling life so that we may stay safe. This means we are trapped in a perspective of living from a place of fragmentation and alienation. The ego is a small part of our whole consciousness. I'm saying the way to get to that space is to go on the long, you heard of long haul COVID, where you just walking around, long haul COVID, like just sick, right? This is long haul hurt that we have carried around. You got to get into this practice of day by day, second by second, moment by moment healing. The healing is never going to end. But the more healed you are, the more elevated your consciousness becomes. Right? You start to not depend on the lens of unhealed wounds to define the world you look at. Remember what they say. You're going to find what you're looking for. And if you're looking through the lens of unhealed wounds, you're going to keep finding hurt everywhere. True or false? If we claim to honor the divine, can we truly justify dishonoring human beings? Or does this dissonance reflect a fundamental misunderstanding of non-duality and divine love? See, the narcissist is data. I told you he's data from the Next Generation Star Trek. He doesn't have empathy, right? So when you listen to that question, if we claim to honor the divine, how can we truly justify dishonoring human beings? Or does this dissonance reflect a fundamental misunderstanding of non-duality and divine love? Well, we dishonor human beings every day. We can throw our mama away because she was toxic. Do you see? We can throw everybody away because we feel like they are a threat to our peace. They are a threat to our happiness. Don't you know when you find real peace, it can't be siphoned? That's a true sign. Listen, if you have obsolescence within your peace, can you call it peace? If entropy exists within your peace, can you call it peace? This is why I made the distinction earlier. I said, listen, there's a difference between peace and quiet. Most of you got quiet. Quiet can always be interrupted by the noise of the mind. Can intimate relationships rise in consciousness to be perceived as a type of darshan, a divine sighting, not just an escape from the clamoring noise that your unhealed wounds are always making? Oh, I'm so happy to see you. No, I represent an escape from the noise that emanates deep within your soul. When they say deep-seated issues, that's a type of noise, right? And you're trying to cultivate quiet. You're not trying to cultivate peace, because healing brings peace. How does darshan work in the context of human relationships? can the act of seeing the divine in another person shift our perception of love, trust, and vulnerability in intimate relationships? How many times have I said to you, do you know trust and loyalty and all of these things that people are constantly talking about are rooted in fear? I need to be able to trust you now, because the last person I trusted, they hurt me. The last person that said they were going to be loyal to me left me. These are all attachment wounds, and they're constant begging. This is what keeps you spiritually poor, when you're constantly feeding them the resources that come from your spirit. Agree or disagree? Divine inclusivity is the foundation of human dignity. Does this principle compel us to view every person with reverence, or does it challenge us to transcend societal norms of judgment and separation? Gang members can kill each other because they don't see God in each other. They don't see God in themselves. It is not a darshan. It is not a divine sighting. Take it somewhere. Your baby mama that you mad at. Not a divine sighting. You cannot take the old ideas and concepts about relationships that come from a toxic society and try to understand this topic. Relationships are failing because we don't see God in ourselves and we don't see God in our partners, which means we're not living darshan in our relationships. Now, if you're just tuning in, darshan is the Sanskrit term, right? It's a Sanskrit term. And I know people with different religions have closed minds oftentimes. I read every book. I'm not afraid of it. Because if I believe what I believe, nothing can change my mind on that, right? If I got faith in what I believe, I got faith in what I believe. I'm not afraid to educate myself on the different perspectives. Many people are. But in the Hindu belief system, it refers to seeing a deity, especially in image form, or a very holy person or artifact. One can receive darshana, or a glimpse of the deity in the temple, or from a great saintly person such as a guru. One can also make darshana of a sacred place, right? Why isn't your relationship a type of darshan, where when you see your partner, you see the Lord, you see the source of all that is, and when they see you, they see that? How would that ability to see in that context affect forgiveness, the human part of your divine partner? See, we got it twisted, greedy folks. Divine partner don't mean I get everything I want. They make me happy. They never upset me. They never disappoint me. They never let me down. Do you understand? When we come forward, the voice of reason gonna keep socking you upside your dome piece on your way home from Jones Beach.
Is it good to you? More Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams when we come forward.
Many homeowners and businesses use man-made stone as an alternative to traditional stone for their countertops. Handling these products puts workers' lives at risk. Without proper conditions, workers could die from the terminal lung disease silicosis. Employers must supply respiratory protection and water systems. It's essential to wet stone when cutting it to prevent breathing in dust. Do away with dusty, deadly practices. Visit WorkSafeWithSilica.org. This is a message from Cal OSHA.
We asked seniors how to prevent Medicare scams.
My best advice, if you get a phone call, do not talk to the person. These people are well trained. Don't talk to them.
They don't know me. They're just trying to scam me.
Don't be fooled. Hang up.
Just hang up.
Never give out your Medicare number.
They're going to get your number to put in a false claim.
If I get a call from someone, I don't pick up the phone. And should I pick up the phone and they ask for information, then I hang up.
How do you detect Medicare fraud?
Just like I check my credit card statements, I check my Medicare statements monthly.
Scammers can get a hold of your number, order medical devices through your account, and you're not even going to know about it if you don't look at your statement. Check your statement every month.
If you get your statement and you see something that you know you did not have done, you report it.
Call your senior Medicare Patrol.
To report Medicare fraud, call the Senior Medicare Patrol at 855-613-7080.
Hey there, Los Angeles. This is James Lucky Jr., publisher and editor of Los Angeles News Observer. Are you hungry for news that matters to you in the African American communities of Los Angeles? Well, buckle up, because we got the scoop you've been craving. Stay in the know and never miss a beat with our free weekly publications conveniently available near you. Or hop on the digital wave and become an exclusive subscriber at OGNSC.com. Don't forget to join the party on Instagram and Twitter at OGNSCINC for behind-the-scenes access and sizzling updates. No more FOMO. Let's stay informed, connected, and empowered together.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580 believes in community empowerment. LA's 99 neighborhood councils form the grassroots level of the Los Angeles city government. The system was created to connect LA's diverse communities to City Hall. While neighborhood council board members are volunteers, they are also public officials elected to office by the members of their community. Neighborhood councils advocate on issues like homelessness, housing, land use, emergency preparedness, public safety, parks, transportation, and sustainability. They also provide local expertise on the delivery of city services to their various communities. Neighborhood councils are open to participation by anyone who is a part of the fabric of daily life in said community. This includes those who live, work, or own property or a business. If you are interested in stepping up to join your local neighborhood council, visit www.empowerla.org. That's empowerla.org. It's time to think globally, but act locally. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
You know you want some more. It's the voice of reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
Yeah. What up, Mom? How you been? Yeah, I know. It's all good. Girl, your stare, those eyes.
Love it when you look at me, baby.
Your lips, your smile.
Love it when you kiss me, baby.
Your hips, those thighs.
Love it when you fuck me, baby.
And I can't deny.
Love it when I'm with you, baby.
I got a fetish for f***ing you with your skirt on the back street in the backseat of the Yukon. What's taking so long? I'm getting anxious but patiently waiting for you to tell a to move on. Between me and you, we can find each other flying abroad in my private G2. I ain't trying to G you, I'm trying to see you bent over. You know how we do it, feet to shoulders, bring heat to cold this night, so ferocious. Now your street promoting the game is potent, cause in the bed, you go hard like Jordan, sweat pouring, loving the way you be moaning, gripping the sheet, looking at me, cause every woman just wanna be happy, and it's crazy, but baby,
One of the things that has changed in me is that I have begun to fall in love with the universe. And it's hard to talk about that. Let me read to you two poems. This first one is by a Buddhist monk named Thich Nhat Hanh. Very beautiful monk. I won't read the whole thing. I am a frog swimming happily in the clear water of a pond. I am also the grass snake who, approaching in silence, feeds itself on the frog. I am the child in Uganda, all skin and bones, my legs as thin as bamboo sticks. I am also the merchant of arms, selling deadly weapons to Uganda. I am the 12-year-old girl, refugee on a small boat, who throws herself into the ocean after being raped by a sea pirate. I am also the pirate, my heart not yet capable of seeing and loving. My joy is like spring, so warm it makes flowers bloom in all walks of life. My pain is like a river.
Suchness, man. Suchness. This is good stuff. We're going to get to these phone callers. And for people who don't like God being referred to as the universe, well, let's look at the word from its etymological root, right? Not the dictionary, but the origin of words. All together, all in one, whole, entire, relating to all, literally turned into one, from unus, one. Now, the root, of course, you have, or the prefix is uni, which means one, and then you have verse, one song, okay? Oneness. If that isn't a good example of God, I don't know what it is. And the Hebrew counterpart of that word would be olum. The Hebrew word olum. The Arabic word kulum. It means all. So you could be funny style and be like, oh, God ain't the universe. God is all of it. Everything. And guess who's a part of everything? So do you see how some people could say narcissists are demons? Because how can you discard a piece of God? Hey, I don't recognize God in myself. There's no way I can recognize God in you. Do you see? Relationships are not spiritual enough. They're dogmatic, religiously dogmatic. They're business minded. We got the business together, right? We got insurance policies. I got the will made up. I got the trust. And yeah, we got all the business together. But the spirit is impoverished. Do you see? Because we don't understand darshan. We don't understand seeing God because we don't understand embodying God. So this is sacrilegious. Psalm chapter 82 verse 6, and I have said, ye are gods, you are all sons of the Most High, but you will die like mere mortals. You will fall like one of the princes. Jesus quotes this in John chapter 10. Why are you throwing stones at me? Because I've done many great works. Why are you throwing stones at me? Oh, because you say you're God. Isn't the word written in your book? And that word was written by God. That's Jesus' response to the people trying to stone him. And Jesus said, you know what? I am God, but guess what? I'm about to roll up out of here because rocks hurt. When we come forward, it's time for the callers to chime in. Let's get it.
KBLA 1580 Santa Monica.
I'm Amber Payton. Here's the latest on the Black Information Network. New York Governor Kathy Hochul is announcing an expansion of maternal and pediatric health care at Elmhurst Hospital in Queens. Hochul says more than $27 million in state funding will go toward doubling the size of the Women's Pavilion and building a new pediatric intensive care unit. She says the investment will combat the maternal mortality crisis, which disproportionately impacts women of color by increasing access to prenatal care and services like mental